Hey everybody, it's Greg the Ghoul here from Phantasm Comics, and we got a different video for you today. It's not comic books, it's not action figures, there's no CGCs in sight. This one's all about movies, sci-fi, fantasy, pulp stuff, some classic Hammer movie, horror movie stuff, a lot of science fiction art. So stay tuned. If you guys like collections of posters, we got a really cool book collection in the shop. A lot of these were picked up from Panoply Bookstore, which is in Lambertville. Great shop. Uh, Definitely check it out if you guys are in our area. So if you're stopping into Phantasm Comics for comic books and whatnot, if you want to see all the fun stuff that we have here, definitely check out Panoply as well. Over in Lambertville, cross the bridge, and check them out. They have some fantastic books in stock right now. And we got a great deal on these books. We're bringing them here. And I think these would also do really well at conventions for us. Another reason why we brought them in. And we'll be bringing most of these, or whatever's left, to ZoloCon 2023 in February. So Google ZoloCon if you want to meet us there. It's a few weeks away. We'll have tons of fun stuff there, lots of vintage stuff and new. And stay tuned if you're into this sort of stuff. All right, well, in no particular order, we're starting everything off with John Stanley's Creature Features Movie Guide Strikes Again. This is the fourth revised edition, coded for videos and lasers. I'm assuming laser discs. We have over 5,000 mini reviews. So you're looking for some fun little, bathroom reading, or if you guys want to go through and maybe discover, oh, look at that, we just happened to turn to the Phantasm page. If you guys want to discover some movies that you probably haven't heard about, fun little movie guide. I always pick stuff like this up, and yeah, you'll be able to find that at Phantasm. This one here, very interesting history of sex in the comics, from way back. We're going to the Phantom, sexuality, Lee Falk, sex and violence, a lot of stuff on bondage, and let's see here, into the are superheroes oversexed? So lots of interesting information here on sexuality in comic books throughout the ages, sex and color. So lots of fun stuff here. Sci-fi sex, little Moebius. So really cool book. Maurice Horn, originally from, let's see, 1985, originally published, I believe. Yeah. So it comes nicely wrapped in plastic. This one is a very cool, if you're into pulps, and not so much the sci-fi horror pulps, but if you're just into pulp artwork, some of that great stuff on mystery, thriller, detective pulps, and the westerns, and even the air fights, the dogfight ones. Um, like the G8s and air stories that are featured on the cover, Wings. This is the godfather of all that sort of look for the pulps. So just quickly looking through, I mean, this is instantly recognizable. And guess what? It is all one person. It's Mr. Belarski. So it's basically just showing off the photos. Not too much discussion or anything. You do get like a little introduction, and then it's separated by different genres of the pulps. So if you're into pulps, this is perfect eye candy for you. I don't know what this says. It's not in English for me, but cover was amazing. Definitely caught my eye, and it just contains tons of great photos and a collection of foreign language posters and stuff like that. So I guess this one's on the monsters, and maybe this one's about sci-fi, and space movies and stuff like that. So Again, same content, foreign movie posters. Lots of great photos, though. I almost thought about keeping this one for myself, but we'll show off what I kept for myself at the end. This one, I don't know. I might keep this one for myself, but the modern horror film, from Curse of Frankenstein to Lair of the White Worm. If we're getting up to Lair of the White Worm, we're definitely outdated at this point, but always love to read what people were talking about back in the day. So, looks like there's lots of Rosemary's Baby. We got Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, The Devils, Straw Dogs. So, lots of fun stuff here. And there's the back one without that. All right. That's available now. Worlds of Tomorrow, the amazing universe of science fiction art. Got a Forrest J. Ackerman introduction here. And also just filled with great imagery of vintage sci-fi art and stuff like that. So, full page stuff, and also just like, pulps, sci-fi magazines from the 50s and 60s. So if you're into that, and then these all do come with like little blurbs and stuff, little history there as well. Okay, moving on, we have science fiction poster art. So if you're into seeing just posters, this one is in English. Oh wow, there was a liquid sky. That's great. So this is going deep. This has got some deep cuts in it, and maybe you're able to find some really cool different stuff. Oh wow, so it's all across the board. It's foreign. It's yeah, super cool stuff in this one. Wow. I don't know. I don't know if I want to let go of that one or this one. Looks like the same publisher put out Horror. So, and I don't know. I guess I'll let it go. Classic zombie poster. Anybody have any of these posters in their collection? I will say with some confidence, I know I have some posters that I saw in that horror one. The Pictorial History of Science Fiction by David Kyle. This book has Masters of the Age, Jules Verne, Flight into the Future, H.G. Wells. So you have a lot of classic stuff here, all the way up to John W. Campbell and others. So, I mean, just the first, the opening page. Love this, like, side work here, too. Really cool. Look at all this great artwork in here. Some color, some black, mostly black and white stuff, but really beautiful stuff. If you're looking for a history of science fiction stories, we're getting down to 1895 right there. This is it. Comes with plastic cover too. So, what do we got next? Ground Zero. Fred, is that a U or a B? Gambino? Let's see. Fred Gambino's work. So, really cool artwork here. And there's little blurbs on the side here. Tells you what the artwork was used for. Look at that. It looks digital. Very cool. Could be some early digital work. I'm not too sure. But if you're into sci-fi art and just different worlds and stuff, yeah, it does say digital. Oh, here's some process stuff too. So really cool if you're into art, like digital art stuff. This is probably like an early user of that. So, paper tigers. All right, what else do we have here? Fantasy Females, from Buffy to Vampirella, the screen's sexiest sirens uncovered. Edited by Alan Bryce. So, got all sorts of little profiles. Sybil Danning, Hammer Glamour, Laura Gemser. So definitely a little spicier than your average book. But Barbara Steele. So we're profiling all the great female femme fatales and leads. across the board, European, American. So great stuff here. Also, uh, looking for this Blood and Black Lace, I believe, and this. I'm also looking for this. So if anyone has any of these, let me know. So there you go. That tomorrow and beyond, masterpieces of science fiction art. So if you're looking for stuff like from those classic sci-fi paperbacks and stuff like that, this is the collection for you. So if you're into heavy metal covers, like the not the music genre, but the magazine, this book is it. So it looks like it's broken down by symbolism, fantasy, barbarians. Okay, so very cool. Space, sci-fi, Futuropolis. Okay, another book that's going to be difficult to let go. And then you have a full appendix of where everything's from as well. Man, I don't want to let this one go. But we should. It should go. It should be available for you. See what I do is I go out, I find these, I bring them in for your viewing pleasure and purchasing pleasure. Science Fiction Ideas and Dreams. This book has some condition issues, some tape on the cover. The visions and inventions of the great sci-fi writers and artists. Really cool concept. Pulling together a lot of fun covers from the pulps. Again, castles in the air, green meadows, parched pastures, talking about, like, again, Futuropolises, I guess. City of the Living Dead, stuff like that. So this one definitely has some spine issues in the side here, but I mean, first of all, like, wow. Let's see if I can track that down. Volume 1, number 7 of Science Fiction Monthly. What a cover. Whoa. Just a lot of great stuff in this one, too. So, all the way up to modern sort of times. There you go. Profiling analog and other stuff. This is a art book, fantasy art, Julie Bell. Hard curves. A lot of female barbarian stuff. So I've got to flip quickly because you never know what you'll see. We'll have up to, like, football players, superheroes. There's some Marvel stuff. There you go. Might recognize some of these Marvel ones. Bodybuilding, stuff like that. So great. If you're into form and body and stuff like that, great book for that. And Julie Bell, just great fantasy art stuff. Ladies, retold tales of goddesses and heroines lavishly illustrated with Boris Vallejo's magnificent paintings and drawings by Boris and Doris Vallejo. So these guys, from what I understood, I mean, I wasn't around hitting up the fantasy conventions in the tri-state area of the 90s, but and early 2000s, I suppose. But from what I understand, they were pretty accessible. Even in the Allentown area, Boris Vallejo was definitely around our area. I just was probably at home watching cartoons, and I probably wouldn't have been allowed to go out to look at. This is more of a stories and whatnot, but there's some great artwork in between here. There's some color artwork that you didn't see. So there we go. Their depictions of different goddesses and heroines. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I'm holding on to that I picked up. I couldn't leave this cover behind. The Jersey Devil, first of all. I'm a Jersey guy myself. Grew up in Jersey. Don't hold it against me. But this cover, I mean, fantastic. I couldn't leave this behind. And this book, Sci-Fi, The Other Side of Realism, edited by Thomas Clareson, Essays on Modern Fantasy and Science Fiction, and this is from 1971. So I can't wait to really dive into this. I'm sure it'll be thrilling. And if this is the sort of stuff that you guys like, or you're like, whoa, Greg, I can't believe you're bringing this in. Can't wait to check it out. We did have stuff like this already in the store. So we have this fantastic horror book profiling Boris Karloff. This Hammer story, the authorized history of Hammer films. Also had a vintage comics, anatomy of the mass media. There we go. And finally, we also had this Art of Hammer book, which came in secondhand. Posters from the archives of Hammer films. So there you have it, a fun collection here in the shop. All right, guys, that's that. What do you think? Some different stuff, right? But I always like bringing in vintage sci-fi and fantasy and horror books, and stuff that just profiles the history of what we all love, which is all this stuff. So I think, like I said, the only two that are sticking with me, probably this one and this one, but all the rest should be hitting the store floor pretty soon. I'm gonna price them up again, and yeah, they'll be out on the shelves. And which is your favorite? What do you guys collect this sort of stuff too? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more of this, I'm sure I can dig some stuff out of the warehouse too. So if you like this stuff, stop in the shop, pick it up, let me know, because that always tells me that you're interested, and I'll bring in more. All right, guys, I will catch you at the comic shop. Have a good one.